You are the fool that the ego is making of you. Hey, as long as it's tolerable, go with it.
It's not really.
But what are you risking if you let it in? If you let go and stop being defended? You're already in the most miserable state of being you can be in by being self-protected and isolated from everything else. Now, you're not alone in this. Every single person here who's not awake has some defense mechanism working, and they're keeping God knows what out of their life. They're keeping God out of their life. They're keeping God's vision of everything separate and apart from them, so they can't have that vision. They can't have God's perspective, which it's their birthright to be experiencing. So everyone's doing this. And the particular story that clothes this dynamic with you is not special at all, and is not more worthy of attention than anybody else's stupid story. You know what? You don't have to be miserable any longer. And you don't have to choose for your misery long enough and persistently enough to force your wife to say, in my integrity, I can't cooperate with this anymore. I'm going to leave. It's not necessary to make the story worse.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So what do you have to say about that?
Well, I don't, it's hard to accept, I guess, that there isn't anything to be afraid of risking.
Can you hold the mic up just a little? Yeah.
I guess it's hard for me to understand that there's nothing to fear in letting someone touch me in that way. You know, I guess in my heart. I mean, I think it's been more my idea of her that I've allowed to touch my heart in one way or another than who she really is. And so, I don't know.
Do you realize how insulting your ego is to you and her? You're not your ego. What you're saying just ain't so. Continue.
So
with the mic.
yeah. I guess
I'm going to interrupt you.
okay.
Independence is a state of powerlessness. Everyone prizes independence so greatly. Well, let me ask you this. If you bring me a battery, a car battery, and if I were to be able to successfully separate the positive from the negative poles, you would have nothing, no power. Correct?
Yep.
Yes. Being is a joining. Isolation and independence is a state in which power is completely absent. Everyone thinks if they are independent, they will have private, personal power. And everybody's attempt to achieve private, personal power is what constitutes the dream. It's what constitutes being asleep. And as long as everyone is driving for private, personal, independent powerfulness, they are ensuring the ongoingness of the dream, of being unconscious of what real power is. Real power is wholeness. Real power isn't really power over anything. It's omnipresent integrity expressing itself as utter perfection in every bit of creation. And that experience, when it is experienced, is joy. Continue.
It helps that you equated independence, real independence, with powerlessness, because I feel like all my searching and all my striving has been to feel secure in myself. And I haven't felt secure in myself or in feeling dependent on my wife.
I know it's insulting to need someone. It's insulting to not be able to feel complete without needing someone else. It's humiliating to need someone else, to not be self-sufficient. But if you'll succumb to it, you'll be in a state of humility, which is defenseless. And you know what that means? You're in a place where you can receive love, and you're in a place where you can give love. And when you are independently isolated, you not only are not able to receive love, you're not able to extend it past the armor you've put around yourself. Now, we're going to take a break, and we're going to continue with you when we come back.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay. So, where are you now with this subject?
I think I want to ask one more question, I guess. In terms of the possibility of expecting miracles, and is it possible for me to expect that I can let go of my defenses and my power at any time that I choose? And especially when, I guess my question would be, how can one respond?
Well, let me interrupt and just say, the only time it will happen is when you choose.
Okay.
It will not happen until you make the choice.
Right.
Okay, continue.
So, my question then is, how can one respond to attack from a place of powerlessness? Or is the attack, or if attack is perceived, am I really in a place of powerlessness?
Wise question, indicating that you already know the answer. From a place of powerlessness, from a place of defenselessness, attack is not perceived as attack. It is perceived as a call for love. It is perceived as bad behavior, calling for correction. And from the place of defenselessness and peace in which there is no reaction, you are in a place where you can be the expression of love that answers the call for love that was presented as bad behavior. But why do you ask that question relative to this subject that we've been discussing?
Well, I have justified my wall in terms of what I see my wife's behavior of criticism towards me. That's been, for me, what I've used to justify why I've had my wall up. So does that answer your question?
And you are supposing that if you became defenseless, she would continue to have reason to criticize.
My fear is that she would think I'm ignoring what it is she sees as important.
Aha. The thing is that when you become defenseless, you will not remain isolated. You will not remain aloof. You will not remain uninvolved. I'm going to come back to this subject of what we'll call rugged individualism. This very prized Western world commodity. It is said that there are as many different perceptions of reality as there are individualities. As though that states some sort of truth, as though that states something valuable instead of meaningless. If there are as many different perceptions of reality as there are individuals, it means that there are as many misperceptions of reality as there are individuals, and it still leaves reality misperceived. And yet the right to have your own perception of reality is highly prized. It's so prized that each one's individual slant on reality becomes his gift to existence. Each one's unique misperception becomes the thing that separates him from everyone else, constitutes his uniqueness. Now, each one of you is unique, specifically identifiable. But uniqueness isn't self-determined. Uniqueness is created and maintained by God. So, you could say it brings it down to the question of, why are you here? Why do you exist? To express a self-determined uniqueness by virtue of refusing to perceive reality and perceive instead what you choose to see and the way you choose to see it. Or, are you here to express the Father's will? Are you here to glorify God? Or are you here to glorify the gift of your private perception? If you're here to glorify God, what does that mean? It means you're here to stop saying no to God. But Father, I'd rather see it my way. It's to stop saying no to God and start saying yes to God. Now, this flies right in the face of all of your ego conditioning. Because what are you doing? You're yielding to the Father's will. And at the bottom line, what are you doing? You're yielding to fitting in, not standing out. So if you want to break down this wall, and if you want to become someone contributive, if you want to become someone whose existence is meaningful on a large scale, let's say, then you've got to start asking, where do I fit in? How do I fit in? And don't put the emphasis on the word where or how. Put the emphasis on the words fitting in or fit in. Where do I fit in? The attention needs to be given to, how do you blend? How do you fit in the Father's design? Where do you fit into this family? Where do you fit into the marriage? Where do you fit into the parenting? Because parenting is not an independent thing. If two parents try to parent individually, you have chaos. Parents parent together. And until those kids leave the house, it better be the two of you who are the parents, and you never let the kids become part of the team. Mom, can I go out? No. Dad, can I go out? Yeah. Goes out. Mom comes out. You get back in here. I said you couldn't go out. Dad said I could go out. See, now there's a new alliance. It won't work. The alliance has to be with the parents. And parenting is something you must do together. You must fit together. You must find out how to fit together for the sake of the child and for the sake of your sanity as the parents. So you had better find out how you fit together and work together and forget about autonomy, independence, making your incredible special gift that has nothing to do whatsoever with anyone else's special gift. I promise you that results in chaos. And it results in chaos because there's no power in independence. There is power in fitting together. Not because two together have power, but because one with God is a majority. And when you're saying yes to God, you are involved in finding the way you fit in. This is extremely important. You are not, and no one else is here to be so outrageously unique that you are a surprise to all of existence. You're here to be part of a team. Mankind is here to find its unity with itself and how it can fit together so as to act in harmony. And the moment mankind can act in harmony, there will be a shift. And the meaning of existence and the experience of existence will change. And it will be a graduation. But the graduation will not occur as long as there is such a great valuing of rugged individualism. Everyone wants to wake up, but everyone thinks it's going to take them in a direction that's ultimately antisocial. And then the new socialism, you might say, the new social creed will become, how do I learn to be at peace in the midst of the chaos of rampant, rugged individualism? That will be the new ego challenge that will never be answered, that there will never be a solution to. What does the word commitment mean? Commitment to doing your own thing doesn't constitute commitment, it constitutes selfishness. Commitment to work together, to fit in. Commitment to be open to the full experience of the divine meaning, the divinity of this thing called a flower, constitutes blending and being defenseless against that flower, or this wife, or this marriage. It's a yielding. A yielding that constitutes a blending, that constitutes a harmony, that constitutes a new foundation for experiencing reality more clearly. I can't put it any more clear than that. I can't put it more clearly than that. It can't be put more clearly than that. What you will sacrifice by letting down the wall, what you will sacrifice by abandoning your isolation, is misery, suffering, and an incapacity to see reality more clearly. That's what you will sacrifice. And at least now, if you don't wish to yet sacrifice it, you will be clear on your insanity.
Thank you, Raj.
You are welcome. Like in the old Roman Colosseum, let the games begin, let the transformation begin. Let. Yield, yield, yield. Allow. All of those things are passive, aren't they? They're relaxing. They take less effort, less willfulness. Who wouldn't express distress when someone appears to be in a relationship but isn't? Who wouldn't be faced with a demand to participate that sounds like criticism if they appear to be in a relationship that they're not in? Of course you're going to hear something that will sound like criticism and attack. Thank God that you're not being able to be ungrounded and insane without objection. And approval. And assurance that you're just fine. When you're not. She's your best friend. I understand that Jeanette will not like what I have just said. It's an inside joke. But it's the truth.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. The lady in the back. Before we move on to your question, does anyone else have a comment or a yes but or wanting a clarification on what we've just been discussing? Okay.